Deezy Podcast, where we focus on building, connecting, and networking. I got a special guest in the building, artist, producer, director, Chris Mattison. How you feeling?
I'm blessed and highly favored, man.
Where you from, Chris?
I am from Fredericksburg, Virginia.
Fredericksburg, okay. How was life coming up in Fredericksburg?
It's all right. Nothing. I mean, I feel like everybody has a story no matter where they're at. So it's like, I don't know if I'm necessarily like identified by Fredericksburg because we don't really have like a sound. You know what I'm saying? So coming up was just like anybody else, I guess. Okay.
So what's the day-to-day like outside of the music before we get into that?
So I wake up in the morning. I'm an insurance underwriter, so that's what I do for like a living. I'm also a digital marketer, freelance on the side. So I work with companies to do advertising. I'm with my son, so I'm a dad, full-time dad too.
Respect.
I'm recording music, or I'm directing videos, or I'm doing if I got free time in the day, I'm doing something wrong.
For sure. I hear you, man. So at what point in life did you jump into the music?
I've been writing since I was a kid, always. It just kind of turned into music because music was the thing. You know what I mean? Like I had an older brother that was always playing DMX and Jadakiss, and so that's what I heard. And I started writing raps, but it didn't start out as raps. It was like poetry or like essays or whatever. And then when I realized, I'm like, yo, I'm kind of nice at this. So then I was like, started writing raps, and I just been doing it ever since.
For sure. So what you saying, like where you from don't really have a sound because you categorize your music to a certain genre?
Yeah, I think I'm more on the I guess you would call it like the conscious side of music. I call it life raps. Like I rap about whatever is going on in my life at the current time. I've always done that, almost to a fault, right?
Okay.
So it's like that's how.
For sure. Now, I know you spoke on having a son. I'm sure he's an inspiration to you.
For sure, yeah.
Would you have anyone else in your life that you would consider inspiration, whether it be an artist or just family?
I think everybody around me is inspirational in a different way. I feel like if you don't have those people around you, you probably need a new set of friends. But everybody influences. My mom, that's the wisdom, that's the guidance. My woman is like, you know what I mean, the courage, the conviction. I watch her, you know what I mean, have a child on the table, be in labor, you know what I mean, push a baby out. It's like I have friends. My friends are running businesses too. Some of my friends are artists too. They all dabble in different stuff. So it's like every time I talk to somebody, it's almost like, yo, I got to get back to it.
For sure. Now, you said DMX and Jay. You mentioned those two artists. Would you consider them like your top five? Like, who does Chris listen to?
So my top five would probably be way different than who I actually listen to on a regular day-to-day. But my top five, in no particular order, would be Jay, Scarface, Lauryn Hill, Pun,
Strong,
and probably DMX. DMX would be the
strong artist, man. Yeah. Now, I've seen, you got Motion on IG. You got some great things going on. Break down for the people that's watching what it is that you offer in the industry right now.
Sure. So I feel like there's a gap right now with information between the artist and the audience. A lot of artists are taking their music and they're just putting it out, and they're not actually identifying who it's supposed to go to. And then we get discouraged because we're like, the people that are hearing it are not giving us the feedback that we want. But 9 times out of 10, it's like, that's not your audience just because you live near them. You know what I'm saying? So I created the Mattison Network, and what it is a marketing agency, because like I said earlier, I do digital marketing.
For sure.
So it's a marketing agency, also an entertainment and production company. So I'm doing shows right now. I have a few shows lined up, a few podcasts. Everything I don't like, I'm not in it, but I produce it. So, or I market it or advertise it or invest in it, whatever the case is. I just wanted to have a platform that people can go to and say, I have an idea and I want it to be, this is where I see it going.
For sure.
And then we can work together to figure out how to make that happen.
For sure, man. I think that's a very vital part of it. Like you said, the artist and the audience, but that missing piece, I feel, what you're doing is missing in a lot of the times.
Right.
What would you say your main goal is for this year?
My main goal is to the people around me that are assisting me with what I'm doing, whether it be videographers or photographers or whoever, I would like to, by the end of the year, have enough work on their resume where they can go build their own thing, and I can bring in somebody younger, somebody whatever. My whole point of this process, and why I call it a network and not necessarily a team, is because I want you to specialize in what you do. This is not to own. I don't own nobody. I don't. A lot of times the problem is we bring somebody with us, and then we're like, oh, that's my. Why he working over there? Why he doing it there? I don't have any exclusive contracts. I want you to be the best that you can do and move on. So at the end of the year, I would like to see. I think a testament to what I do as a business is how many people come from that and can say, yo, I started over at the Mattison Network doing this, and now this put me here.
Put you there.
Yeah.
What you just mentioned is a lot that you're offering. I mean, what keeps you going? Because you working,
right?
Then you coming into the industry. Like what keeps you going at a positive pace? You know what I mean? Like what? Because you have to be driven. Yeah. So are there certain things that you do personally that keep you going? I mean, do you fitness or you self remedies, anything like that?
Nah, not really. I mean, I do work out, but not to more just to get the mental straight. But I really keep pushing because I feel like me as an artist coming up, I was hustled so many times. I got bad deals so many times. I got people who promised me information that they didn't give, and they ripped me off no money. And I see the same pattern happening, and it's in our culture. And a lot of these people that hustled me, 10 years later, hustling new people that still don't know. And it's like, what drives me is I want to be a median in that. So where it's like, if I can prevent somebody else from going through the experiences I went through, I'm going to do that. And as far as what motivates me to keep doing that is I was doubted a lot. A lot of people didn't see what I'm doing now. They're like, oh, yeah, you're going to make a network. A network. You know what I mean? With that little sarcastic laugh.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, watch though.
For sure. And now it's time for you to take that, what they said, and show them, you know what I'm saying, what you're capable of doing. Now, the Mattison Network, is that just you, or is it like a collective? Like, how is that organized?
It's just me. It's just me. It's a network in the sense that when you come, let's say you come to me and you're like, I'm artist XYZ, and you're like, I do this and I'm trying to reach this point. I'm gonna have a conversation with you after I do an audit of everything that you have, your website, your social media profiles, your creativity, your whatever you're doing, your business, your merch, your LLC. I'm gonna go through everything that is necessary to be successful, because I don't want to. There's no point in making an artist successful and a business not straight. It's like we racing backwards.
For sure.
So I would do that first, and then from there we're gonna go through like, okay, do you need this? Do you need this? Do you need this? How much does this cost? What do you need to do to get it? Can you do it on your own? They can go different places. And then at that time, I have photographers I work with, videographers I work with, graphic designers I work with, affiliate marketing partners that I work with. So it just depends on like where you need to go. You know what I'm saying? So
I got you. I follow you.
Yeah.
Now, the rap class, I mean, from just the promotional image that I saw on your page, I mean, that looked like it's going to be a upbeat, fun type of environment. You know what I'm saying? Can you break that down for me?
Yeah, it's like it's almost like my baby, because it's like the first thing that I'm releasing under the entertainment side of the network, and it's again going back to artists trying to figure out how to break through the mold. A lot of us get in the building, we stiffen up, like it's like a competition thing where it's like at this point, being able to rap well is a talent, but it's not the talent. It's not the thing that's going to make people like you. People like you for your personality. And so I wanted to create something that people could come onto and showcase their personality.
For sure.
And then also highlight the music, or make the music not the centerpiece of who you are. So I have a lot of artists that came onto the show that you wouldn't know them outside of their music, really. They're like very isolated people when it comes to that. But then when they get on the show, they start getting that comedy, start telling jokes, they laughing, you're having fun, and you forget that there's cameras rolling the whole time.
For sure.
And then by the end of it, I got a show. You know what I mean? And I write the show, I direct the show, I tell everybody, not tell everybody, but I advise everybody what I'd like to see them do. From there, it's like a improv. They kind of they ad-lib based off of like the direction I gave them.
Okay.
And then at the end, we put the episode together.
Man, I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yo,
I've never really even heard of something like that.
Yeah, it's
so much props to you on that, man. I wish you the best with that
thank
for sure.
Thank you. It actually the idea came from a rap video I had shot.
Okay.
Like a year and a half ago, where it was based off of like a janky rap teacher teaching a class, but it was just me.
Oh wow.
And then I was sitting there, I was like, yo, I think that would be like a dope show. Like if I just kept doing it, and I already know that it's gonna be successful because the video is successful. You know what I mean? So you already got the proof of concept.
Got you.
Yeah.
Now, being a father, I know for me, I get questions sometimes, you know, when they see shows or YouTube or they see me editing videos. Does your son, does he see the things that you're doing and ask questions?
Yeah, but the questions he asks are more so like, what does this do right now, as opposed to like, why are you doing it? So it's like, oh, these are speakers. Oh, they're loud.
Yeah.
Oh, what is the color in this room? What does this foam do? Like, it's that type of question.
Now he gets to that age where he say, you know, Dad, why do you do what you're doing? What would be something that you would say to him?
Do you want to learn?
There you go.
Yeah. Because that's what that's all we're here for, really. Yeah.
Got you. Now, I did see on your page, you don't have to talk about this if it's too personal for you, but I saw you donate your kidney to your brother.
Yeah.
Is that something that we can touch on?
Yeah.
Okay. How was the recovery process like? You know.
Well, for me, I'm kind of a dog, so So like, it was 6 weeks I couldn't lift anything over 10 pounds. That's probably the most pain I've ever been in my life. It was terrible. Like, I was in the hospital for, I want to say 5 days, 4 or 5 days. I could, like, when it first happened, I could barely walk and stuff like that. But over time, you just, like with anything else, you just heal. I was back in the gym probably like 8 weeks later. Okay. And I get like anxiety and stuff because it's almost like you're in a new body. Things happen, like you feel different things. Like, oh, what is it? What is it? But beyond that, you know, I just was going to therapy, trying to figure it out. And
Gotcha. Yeah, man. About 2 years ago, I had a piece of my colon removed, so I kind of went through something similar. I was in the hospital a little longer, but you know, I know for me the motivation it brought when I got back right. Yeah, and I definitely feel you on feeling different. You know? What's next for you? You know, I know you got the rap class and you know, things like that, and you growing with your network. But is there anything in particular that you are doing to get to that final stage right now of the rap class?
Well, for me, it's about building the connections. So while I'm building this, I was working with a beer company over the summer, and by the name of Capsule. Let me shout him out. While I was working with him, the owner, Eric, gave me an opportunity to work with an internship with a different company. He was like, yo, you should apply to this. They give this, he was like, it'll benefit me when you come back with the knowledge of beer and stuff like that. Like, so go do this joint real quick. So I did it. I'd never done an internship before, right? So I was doing it. I'm asking him, like, yo, at the end of the internship, like, what happens? Like, do I stay with this company? Like, can I do? It was a PR company. I was like, yeah, can I stay here? And they're like, well, we'll see what happens. Well, It was kind of like, I could tell that they were interested, but I don't think they fully knew what I could do yet. And then they gave me the opportunity to show that, and I did that. And then they came back, and they had this marketing conference that they're setting up in March. It's for like all the big wigs in the beer world, and all the people outside of that. They got like the marketing director for the Boston Red Sox, Carhartt, Lyft, and I'm a speaker at that conference now. Okay. Based off of the work that I put in. So I'm going to be speaking about my rap career, how it led me into marketing, where I'm at now. And that's big, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm the only one of us on the list, and I'm definitely the only rapper that they've probably ever encountered. Like, you know what I'm saying? So just to open that door opens the door again for the Mattison network, because I do marketing for mainly our culture and hip hop and things like that, but that doesn't mean that's all I can do. And if I can build a connection with a company that does X, Y, and Z, they're gonna need commercials. They're gonna need this.
That.
Yeah, so
always, man.
Brand builder.
No, I salute you for that, man. You know, that's it takes a strong individual to be able to keep up with all that. You know, and I was always told, and I believe in staying devoted to something. You know,
For sure.
Now, for the people out here who are trying to get to that level of where you are, maybe trying to do the same thing, start a network, what are a few pieces of advice you would lay out to them, just starting off?
The first thing would probably be fix your credit. Credit is important. There's a lot of things that you may not have a dollar to your name, but if you got credit, you can do whatever you want. You know what I mean? As long as people trust you with the ability to pay them back, you're all right. The second thing would be to figure out what your foundation is, right? So now we're in a era where people are like, yo, I'm a rapper, singer, dancer, producer. Like it's like, okay, cool. You can be that, but like, what is your base? What is your foundation? Build that up, because you can't have a skyscraper without a basement. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like some people have to know you for this, then you can move off and do the other things and be a master of something.
For sure. Yeah. Man, that's powerful, man. Shoot, I remember starting off, if I would have known what I know now, I would have been in a way better position.
Yeah,
but you know, you go through things, you learn it, and you better yourself.
Yeah.
First, I want to thank you for coming through.
I appreciate you for having me.
You know, you got a lot going on. From what I can see, you doing it the right way. You know, looks like you having fun doing what you're doing. From what I've seen,
amazing, man. This guy right here too. I've been looking at this bit in my peripheral the whole time. Yeah, that's my as far as motivation, I'll be listening to Kobe clips. Like, oh, he passed away on my birthday.
Wow.
Yeah, it's my favorite athlete.
Yeah, it's mine too, man. All through my youth, you know, up until he passed, man, you know, and still seeing clips and things like that, just listening to what he say motivates me, you know. But, you know, definitely keep doing what you're doing. Sure. I'm sure we'll connect at another time, you know, and build with each other, you know. So I want to thank you for your words on the show today. But before we go, I want you to look into this camera here on the low end and just let the people know where they can find you on social media. Yeah,
Mattison Music _ Mattison, the MattisonNetwork.com. That'll be up before February 22nd, because on February 22nd, the rap class drops. That's going to be available. I'll have more details about that shortly.
Okay. Yeah. And one more question
before
we
for sure.
get off here. Music. Is there any music in the works? Single, album, anything along the lines of that?
I put out, or I'm trying to put out a song every week. So I have no plans of doing albums anymore.
For singles.
Yeah. It's just going to be little cutaway songs.
Already. I'm definitely going to be peeping that. You know what I'm saying? Chris Mattison, thank you for coming through the show. I wish you the best until next time, man. Thank you.